Hello and welcome to the weekly market outlook by ForexSPV, where we analyze five pairs that is Euro, USD, EURJPY, GBPCAD, USDZAR, and gold. So, by the way, before starting this weekend, we had a major event that is the government shutdown in US has ceased. So now the US government is back to its normal operations. And this was after agreement in passing the bill, or the budget bill, and the budget has already been signed by the president, Donald Trump. So now the US are back to their normal routines. So therefore, we should expect the economic events in the economic calendar, which had been tentative for quite a while for the US, to now resume, and we will be receiving the economic data to use in our trading. So let's just go directly and start with analyzing the Euro USD. So let's start by looking at the areas of support and resistance closer to the current market price. So we have that area there. That is like a zone there, and we have that one there. That's enough. So generally, we can see that the market had been in an uptrend, and then it right at the 200 EMA in the monthly, we see that we had like a resistance here where the price had failed to break this zone here, and you can see that the price had been consolidating for several months around this area. And if you look at the weekly time frame, also we can see that uptrend. Then we can see that we are now in a consolidation. We are in an uptrend now in consolidation. So this the uptrend still looks very strong. It looks like this consolidation is just a market maker trying to grab some liquidity before he continues with the movement up. But as of now, we can see that we are trading within this consolidation, within this price zone here in this consolidation. So we are ranging from an uptrend. Now let's go to the daily and see how the market is flowing. So you can see from the daily that we had, so you can see we are coming from the previous uptrend, if you recall, from the monthly and the weekly, and then we started to consolidate. And in this ranging market, we are ranging from this price up here, where we had our resistance area marked, and this price down here where we had our support area marked. Now, if you look at the current market price in the daily, you can see that we ended the day, we ended the previous week with a red candle with wicks both sides up and down, and it had pinned in this, it had pinned the 50 EMA in the daily, and we expected that if it breaks this 50 and continues up, then we would have changed the bars into an uptrend. But currently, we can see that the market has opened, and we still have so we have this uptrend here in the daily, and we can see that the 50 EMA had been broken within the last week, and a new candle had opened. The Friday candle also affirmed the breakage of the 50 EMA by closing above the 50 EMA. So at this point, our buyers would be going up, because we can see that the 50 EMA in the daily had already been broken. So we expect the uptrend to keep on going. And as you can see, this move here shows that the uptrend is more dominant. That is the bulls are more dominant than the bears. So if we go down to the hour 4 time frame, we can see we had a consolidation right at the quarter, and then the price started moving downwards. But yet we know that the uptrend is more dominant. So if we look at the TDI in the hour 4, we can see that the TDI is heading towards the level middle, but it is coming from we had a shark fin here forming an uptrend. So you can see this area here, this consolidation here, it is happening up, and the TDI, as it happens, the TDI reveals shark fin. So the downtrend was imminent. But then if you look at the Bollinger Band down here in this TDI, you can see that we have the Bollinger Band right at the level middle, and the price is heading there. So what does this mean? This means that we might see a quick a reset, but again, we cannot make that bias right now. We have to wait for the market itself to, but as we are talking, as it is stands currently, we can see that the market is moving downwards, and it has already come from this shark fin here, which is not exactly at the level high to be very significant, but it is a short-term downtrend before the dominant uptrend continues. So let's look at the hour one and see. So we had this uptrend. Let's just measure if it had completed the 3 times ADR. And according to our indicator, the ADR indicator, it shows that the ADR is around 55 or 57 on average. That is like around 56, let's say 56. Then 3 times ADR would be around 165 around there. So if we have 55, then 165, that will be our 3 times ADR. And we can see that 165 had 165 pips have already been met. So the 3 times ADR has been made. And at this point, the market is now, it can choose 2 things to do. It can either reverse, or it can make a reset. It can make a peak, a reversal, or a peak reset. So we can see this peak here had been formed from last Friday. And we have, so last Friday, Thursday coming Friday, we formed that peak there. Then today, Monday, we are continuing with this movement downwards. So this movement downwards here might be a bit temporary, but as it stands right now, we are currently moving downwards because we have already finished 3 times ADR. And if we are to move downwards, then where would be our target? We're to trade downwards, then down. So we can see we have an order block here, an hourly order block around this area here. So, and this 1, 2, 3. So we expect because we have our dominant uptrend buyers from the higher time frames. So this downtrend here, we should always treat it as a temporary downtrend. So what we expect is for a market to make a reset and make a continuation up. So would expect for this market to come around this zone here, then make its way up again around the 200 EMA in R1, which would mean that this market has to make a pattern around the blueberry in 15 minutes. And if it does so, then we will take a buy trade. So that is about Euro USD buyers for this week. Now let's move on to the EURJPY. So coming to the monthly time frame for EURJPY, you can see the uptrend is more dominant also. And if we are to mark the areas of support and resistance closer to you can see it's not very clear in the monthly. The areas of support and resistance are not very clear in the monthly time frame, but it is clear that currently we are in an uptrend. So looking at the weekly time frame, you can also see that the price has started moving around this peak here. Then as it bounces around the 13 EMA, it keeps on going up, bounces around 13 EMA or 5 EMA, then keeps going up. So you can see the last week's candle, had bounced around the 5 EMA, and it closed with a very good bullish momentum. So what do we expect? Of course, we expect something like this. We expect for the price to come back around the 5 EMA or the 13 EMA. So we expect a pullback, then a continuation up. We expect a pullback, and most eminently would be a pullback to the 13 EMA, because you can see the uptrend had been dominant for quite a while. So we expect the dealer to make a pause or a break so that he can consolidate more of his money before continuing with the uptrend. And so if we go to the daily, so you can see from the higher time frame, that is the monthly and the weekly, we see that the uptrend is more dominant. Now let's see how the market will be flowing. So around the daily, it is very obvious to see this order block here. And you can see that the price last Friday, price had ended with a red candle pinning around the 5 EMA. And today's candle, we expect that the pullback would be imminent, and probably the pullback would come to around this order block or around this EMA that is to pin to the 13 EMA, then make the continuation up. So basically, this would be a good liquidity area to watch out around this zone here. Now let's see in the hour 4. So if you come down to the hour 4 time frame, you can see that of course the price is around the quarter 180.00. And we can see that the 50 EMA in the hour 4, which basically represents the 13 EMA in the daily, is also around a small quarter, which is the 178.750 quarter. Now, looking at the TDI, we can see that we have already reached the overbought area, right? Then the price started coming, going downwards. Yep, started going downwards, and you can see so we can see now the price is looking for this for making the sharp thing at the low, or going down to the low around the 50 level, the level middle. So this downtrend that is about to happen here can be confirmed actually. The short-term downtrend can be confirmed with the TDI. So if we go to the hour 1 also, we can still confirm it, because we can see that from around this price down here to where the price is current, where the highest point reached right there, you see that that's around 428 pips. But if you look at the ADR, which is 107, you'll notice that the 3 times ADR had already been made. That's why we expect for a peak, either a peak reversal or for the market to make a reset. Now, if the market is to make a reset, we expect the reset to occur around the 200 EMA in 1 hour, which would represent the 13 EMA in the daily. But also a reset could occur in the 50 EMA, 50 EMA in the hour 1, which represents the 5 EMA in the daily. So currently what we are looking for is, if the price does give us a pattern, here for us to buy this market right now, and we see that there is a buy, then we would take this market to the 180 quarter, right? That is, we would assume that this reset has been, we have had a peak reset around the around the 200 EMA, and we will take 3 times ADRs from there. And if you look at if you come down and look at the 15 minutes, you'll see that this might actually be a reset uh, being formed right there for a continuation up. Now, so our buyers for this market would be a temporary short before a long-term long. So I expect that this market should in fact come down to around, would in fact come down before going up. Then the downtrend might come to this quarter here, the M1 quarter. Then it would resume its movement. Though we should keep our watch, because currently, as how the market is, it is showing as if it's already going up, but we should be careful with that. So this is our bias for the EURJPY. Let's move on to the GBPCAD. So with the GBPCAD, so starting with the monthly time frame, looking at the areas of support and resistance closer, areas of support and resistance that are closer to the current market price. So if we look here, we'll see that area there. You'd also see that area there, and that's like a zone. Now, so currently we can see that the market had been in an uptrend, and now it is consolidating sideways. Going down to the weekly time frame also confirms the same. You see that it was an uptrend. Now the market is moving sideways from that particular uptrend. Yeah. So still the uptrend is more dominant, although the momentum has slowed down, and you can see that the market is now going sideways. Now, if we go to the daily, we can see that in the daily, we can see that currently the market is currently the price is at 200 at the 200 EMA. Yeah, and you can see that last week last week Friday, the price ended by pinning around this order block. So this order block here had been right, and you can see that we had the week grabbing this liquidity in this order block. So what do we expect? Of course, we expect now after grabbing the liquidity, then the price might be heading upwards. We might be buying for this week or this day. So looking at the hour 4, just to confirm, we can see that the market is coming from the downtrending market, and we can see that around this point here we had equal lows. So the equal bottoms had been formed, kind of forming a W. Then the market is now reacting, going upwards. So if we look at our TDI, you can see that this was it's around, the market is around, the price is around 50, the mid-level 50, and it is about to it is about to make a reset for a continuation up. Let's go down to the hour 1 and see. So if we look at the hour 1, we can see we have we can actually draw the ADR boxes and see where. So we have 111 pips ADR. Okay. All right, so we have the 3 times ADR right there. So with the current market position, we expect that this market should be going upwards, and where shall it come from? Then we expect for the market to come from around this M2 area there, where it's already there. And right now we can actually, this is a very good buy for us to take a trade on. So the market has done almost everything we needed to do for it to go up. So we expect this market to go up. And that is our bias for the GBPCAD. Let's move on to the USDZAR. With the USDZAR, starting with the monthly, we can see that there is a downtrend in the monthly time frame currently. We see that we have this downtrend here. And probably it is because of what was going on with the US, but the actual market price right now, according to the higher time frame, is going downwards. That is the monthly and the weekly time frame. Now let's see at the market flow from the daily. So if we look at the daily, the first thing we can notice here is that there is an order block right there. And this order block, we have that order block right there, and it had already been retested, then coming down. So this order block is not actually significant because it has already been retested. Then, but still the market right now is looking like the price right now, we can see it is still in the downtrend according to the daily, and we see a pin at the 13 EMA right there, and this usually signifies a quick reset, and this had occurred last week, Friday. So this is the Friday candle showing a pin at the 13 EMA. Coming down to the hour 4, we can see a shark fin right around the level middle, which also signifies a peak reset. So, and the peak reset for a continuation down movement. And we see that this is the pin at EMA 200 in the hour 1, and this should be a continuation down, like the market had make a reset 1, 2, 3. Again, we can see that after we could start counting the ADRs from this, expecting that the market now will move again 3 times ADR to the downside. Now let's see, this ADR is around 157. Okay. So we expect that this price from where it is, we expect that the downtrend to keep on going. So this is our bias for so you can see the downtrend is almost inevitable for USDZAR. So for USDZAR, we expect for the price to sell. Looking at gold, and gold had been going crazy for a few months this year, and it has been buying crazy. We reached the all-time high around last month. So let's look at this month. So trying to draw areas of support and resistance using the monthly time frame for gold, it's quite tricky, not possible. So, but we know that for sure the market is moving. It's moving with an uptrend. For sure, the market has a very strong uptrend, Coming to the weekly, we can see we had a few weeks of downtrend. Then the market looks like it wants to reverse, although it has pinned again. So that is the weekly, but generally around the weekly and the monthly, we can see that the market is still having a good bias to go up. Then if we look at the daily time frame, we can see that the market has now currently the Friday candle had pinned around the 13 EMA, and a pin around the 13 EMA usually signifies a quick reset. So if we go down to the 4 hours, we can see that we have a sharp fin around the level middle, which signifies a reset, and this should be a peak reset on it. There is a probable peak reset being formed. So the movement was downwards, and we have a few days, a few weeks for down movement, which we can see them in the daily. Then the market had reversed up, but currently we can see that it has pinned to the 13 EMA as if it wants to keep on going up. And since this is a safe haven, buying buyers is more stronger always than the selling buyers. So looking at this sharp fin signifies that this peak reset is really being formed, and we might see an uptrend for gold. Coming to the hour one, and if we look at this, we can see that. So if we look, just to confirm, we can see the movement from here to here is around 31, 31133 pips, and we see the ADR is 9347. So 3 times ADR, was supposed to be around 280 for one. So with this movement here, that means the 3 times ADR had already been met. And after being met, then we started the downwards movement. So let's just draw the 3 times ADR. Yes. Somewhere. See. Yeah. So expectedly, of course, 3 times ADR will not be met because we already see that the uptrend is more significant. So the price we expect for it to move upwards, to reset to upwards. So after finishing, always remember that after finishing 3 times ADR, the price might do one of two things. It might either form a peak reversal, so it can reverse direction from uptrend to downtrend, or from downtrend to uptrend, or it could make a peak reset, or it could make a reset where it makes a reset to continue with the previous direction. So as of our view on gold, we see that gold was in an uptrend, and currently it looks like it is making a peak reset to continue with that particular uptrend. So our bias for gold would be going up. Our bias for gold would be going up, or simply buying. So that's about all for our analysis for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great trading week. Thank you.